gonna happen?
You bitch.
What? Hey, you can't touch. You can't push her.
I can't say what the
Out of my mouth.
bitch.
Where
Because I will your goddamn bitch ass up. My
What in the world?
You started running your whore mouth when I was on my goddamn phone. I did not talk to you, did I? Did I?
We have kids.
Did I?
Right now.
I don't give a about your goddamn baby ass bitch ass kids.
What in the world?
Where's my phone? Well, we're gonna find it because goddamn this bitch up.
We're looking at our gate right now. They're getting ready to push.
Ma'am, can you talk to
Somebody back there's having an issue, so sir,
Because I'm about to one of them.
that would just help everybody out.
No, he just
I'm on the goddamn plane.
Line one.
And this bitch trying to talk some shit. You better sit down. You better quit looking at me because I will you up. Oh, really? Oh, really? I'll you up.
Yeah, so those sorts of incidents are still regularly happening on planes. I believe that's on Delta. But anyway, the person who posted Totham Girl on TikTok said that it's in the Austin area. I haven't yet seen any confirmation about consequences for that guy who not only was violating the mask mandate, obviously, but threatening to assault women, including it looked like flight attendants on that flight. Generally, even in the American context, you don't get away with that. You don't get to fly. I can't confirm whether he did or not. It hadn't yet pulled away from the gate, it sounded like, but I've never, like, flying is a stressful situation. Everybody gets that. I've never felt like making a massive scene and threatening violence against everyone around me, including women. But that guy apparently was just not having a good day.
And also, I mean, it just rolled out off his tongue so easily, which is something that sounds like normal behavior for him. But that's a sign. Multiply that by millions, and that's what a lot of women have to deal with. That's what a lot of people have to deal with. A lot of trans women, a lot of non-binary people have to deal with that toxic behavior. And that the fact that it was just okay, the fact that I'm sure he knew somebody was recording him because everything is being recorded now, and was not in any way affected by that or in any way tamed. That the belief that he could just talk to somebody like that and felt the entitlement to be able to carry on an airplane the way that, you like, as if that was his own domain. And that's the problem that we're having with a lot of people, globally, that feel that they have the right, they have the privilege. That's a trigger word for them. They can't stand that word, but they have the opportunity. He has size advantage over that woman, and the fact that he was in the presence of so many others, felt so comfortable threatening this human being is just indicative of who this person is. And that's the kind of stuff that women have to deal with all the time, no matter where they are and what they do. That's the kind of stuff. 100%. Those are the people that vote for that senator that's running. Those are the people that support that kind of mentality right there.
I will never understand it. Like the idea that you're surrounded by people and you're threatening to beat a woman. Like whether you're being recorded or not. Like I don't understand also why the recording doesn't lead to people being a little bit more, I'm not even gonna say polite, sane, nonviolent. I don't understand, but this guy who, by the way, whether there are consequences or not, let's put up the photo. He's easily identifiable at the very least in that area. Why isn't he worried about his friends and family seeing him do this? Maybe it is what Ida said. It flows naturally. Maybe this is not the first time. I have no idea, don't know the individual. But what I do know is that this is not an individual occurrence. As Ida points out, for women, and especially for flight attendants, it is a very common thing. This is not the same individual, but an anti-masker who freaked out on a plane recently pleaded guilty to punching a flight attendant so hard it shattered her teeth. She suffered 3 broken teeth, a bruised left eye, and a cut under her eye that required stitches. That was because the worker had asked the assailant to put her face mask on, fasten her seatbelt, and stow her tray table on the flight's descent. About 85,000 of nearly 5,000 US flight attendants say they've dealt with an unruly passenger just last year. 17% said they've been physically assaulted. 17% have been attacked by a passenger, which is why you see signs like this in airports and on planes now that has to remind people that you are not allowed to physically assault the people working there. And we, like Ida, we see this in fast food places, restaurants, grocery stores. Maybe it's always been there and the cameras are just revealing it more, but people feel like it is open season on service industry workers.
Yeah, just a few years ago, they were just singing their praises and calling them essential. And now things are back to normal to some people, and then we're back to mistreating people who we think are less than because of what they do for a living, when we couldn't survive without these people when we were at our most vulnerable point. But like I said, that behavior, unfortunately for people like me who believe that violence is the worst thing that can ever happen, I have to, carry a gun. Not carry a gun, but I have to have a gun, which is something I never really wanted to do. But I those of you who fight for those Second Amendment rights, which usually sound like these people, just know that there are people who don't sound and act like you that also believe in their Second Amendment rights, because we have to defend ourselves as people, and especially as women. And it's just, I'm never going to stop speaking up for women, because the fact that the way that he spoke to her in the presence of, he had just had a physical altercation, right? He was fighting the man behind him, and then turned around and was like, you know what? She's probably easier to beat than this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the threatening.
Stop hassling me. I want to attack this woman.
Exactly.
So weird.
So sad.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.